Hello everybody, it's me Ghost Critic with another Ultimate Graphic Novel Collection review, and this fortnight I have been reading this. Captain America Winter Soldier. This collects Captain America Volume 5, issues 8 and 9 and then 11 to 14. Obviously centering on Winter Soldier. Now, those of you who know me pretty well know I'm not a great fan of Captain America. I've read very little of his own titles. You know, when he's been in Avengers or something like this, you know, he's kind of in there anyway. So I know very little about his backstory. Yes, I watched the film from last year and, you know, it was alright. So this was always going to be a bit of an interesting read for me, and therefore an interesting kind of review, something for me to review. And it all basically revolves around Bucky Barnes. Now, Bucky Barnes, for those of you who don't know, was Captain America's sidekick who tragically died when they were thwarting some baddie's plan to bomb America. And this was the point where, you know, Bucky Barnes presumably died, Captain America presumably died, saving his country. And at the time, reading the foreword to this, it seemed to be, I mean, obviously not knowing because I wasn't a big Captain America fan, this was a big deal, and people were not happy about the idea that Bucky Barnes may be brought back into regular Marvel continuity. And I suppose, like it says again in the foreword, it's that kind of character, such as, you know, Uncle Ben should never be resurrected, because that was the impetus for Peter Parker to become Spider-Man, and, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. And it was one of those kind of characters which were untouchable. They died. This gave this character the impetus to be who they are now. And obviously Bucky Barnes was very much this character for Captain America. But you know what? If I had have been reading Captain America and I'd have seen Ed Brubaker was planning to bring Bucky Barnes, I would have gone, wait a minute, hold on. Ed Brubaker's a damn fine writer. He seriously is. When he took over from Bendis on Daredevil, I mean, apart from the fact I was waiting for Bendis to go for so long, because, you know, you just wanted to hear another voice. I was really excited to see what Brubaker would do. In Daredevil, he threw Matt Murdock into prison. So, and all sorts of kind of storylines came out of that. But that's Daredevil. This is Captain America. I think I would have had a little bit more faith in Brubaker to do this right. And you know what? I think he did. I really, the Winter Soldier part of this, I was really enjoying. It begins with a Russian submarine going through the waters around the well, at the time that, you know, Captain America and Bucky are saving the world, back in the 1940s, 1945. They just happen to be just under the sea near where this is all taking place, and what they're hoping is to find Captain America and steal the serum that makes him, you know, Captain America. But obviously they don't find Captain America, they find Bucky. And they think because he's a psychic, he must have the serum as well. And so they do experiments on him to try and get the secret serum formula. But obviously Bucky Barnes is just a normal, you know, human being like you and me. Just expertly trained by Captain America. And so they decide all that maybe is not lost, and what they do is they basically turn him into a spy assassin for the Russian government. So that kicks the whole thing off. In the present time, Captain America is saving the population from a bombing in Philadelphia, and interspersed with that, there's a lot going on just in this first issue. Nick Fury is showing Steve Rogers, Captain America, footage, quite grainy, and saying, you know, it's come to our attention through investigating and filtering all sorts of stuff out and information we've got, that, you know, Bucky is actually alive and he's working for the other side. Of course, Captain America just doesn't believe this. Bucky would never do anything like this. He's dead. It must be someone else. But the evidence is pretty stacked against him. And also because, you know, Captain America's seen him. In the first issue, in the bombing in Philadelphia, where he's saving all these people, there is this person that comes out of the smoke who has actually, you know, caused all this mayhem, and it is, of course, Winter Soldier. So he still doesn't believe it, and then he gets a package in his supposedly secret hideout that no one else knows, apart from like Nick Fury and Sharon Carter, his ex-love. And for me, this was my favourite issue. I think it was issue 11. And it shows the history of basically Bucky, from him being retrieved from the sea and experimented on, turned into this spy who's put in hibernation for several years and then comes back out to do a mission to kill off, you know, major political players of the time. So he comes out in like the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, etc. What we find out as he keeps getting kind of brought out of hibernation to do all this, you know, terrible stuff, all these assassinations, that, you know, he's been brainwashed by the Russians, but every time it doesn't seem to be taking as well, and he's remembering stuff and he's challenging now his orders. And so it is brought right up to date to where he has, you know, bombed Philadelphia. Now, most people would think this wasn't very new reader friendly. I kind of agree and I kind of don't. I kind of don't agree because you get a whole heap of information on Bucky Barnes and his relationship with Captain America. There are lots of flashbacks to their first meeting, to the whole history of Bucky as the Winter Soldier and all his missions and all that. But again, all the way through this, there's a kind of subplot sort of going on with the Kronos Corporation and the Cosmic Cube. Now, maybe it's because this is such a insular story that you may not understand what's gone before or what came after it. But for me, the whole use of the Kronos Corporation and in turn the Cosmic Cube was a bit of a easy way to finish this book off. Now, again, I don't really want to spoil the ending, but the Cosmic Cube is used in a way that you think, oh, well, that was easy, kind of thing. Oh, great, they used the Cosmic Cube, ba-dum. And that kind of felt off for me. But I just wonder if it would have meant a little bit more if I'd read previous issues or the issues back after it. So, yeah, as a book just read like this, it seems a bit flaky. Maybe knowing what was going on around might have made it a little bit more sense, or a lot more easy to accept the kind of finale to this book. The artwork by Steve Epting is really nice in here. It has that very dark kind of very muted colours. Even when you're looking at the modern day with Captain America, and you get some brief cameos from Falcon and Iron Man, the colours are still very muted there. Let's see if we can find you a decent enough page to look at the artwork, something big. But it certainly suits the style of the book, this kind of espionage, almost spy type. Why can I not find a... this sounds awful. Why can I not find a decent piece of art? I'll show you that there. The first kind of Falcon cameo in there meeting up with Captain America. Now this has always been the problem with me and Captain America. I've never found the character incredibly interesting. He's arrogant as hell in this book, completely dismissing until a point that Bucky could possibly be alive, despite all the evidence he's been given by people he supposedly should trust, like Nick Fury and, you know, his ex-lover Sharon Carter. He's trying to get him through this and be as supportive, but he's so dismissive, and it just annoys me. And every time I do read anything, he's very much like this. He's very stubborn. Too stubborn. I mean, I understand the whole he's Captain America, he's patriotic, blah blah blah, but you know, doesn't grab me. Maybe you have to be American to actually like Captain America. I don't know. But I mean, all in all, oh, there you go. There's a nice bit of artwork there. This was towards the end where no, I can't say or I'll spoil it, but yeah, some very nice artwork there from Steve Epting. So yeah, Captain America never really done it for me, just like Superman in DC never really does it for me. I just find the characters a bit one-dimensional. For the rest of the book, as usual, the front and back have the montage kind of covers. Get that in a bit closer. You have, as always, story so far, so you do kind of get a little brief introduction as to what has gone before. We have a little page about the artist, Steve Epting, and then an origin, oh no, a bit more. I'm sure we've already had an Ed Brubaker, but Ed Brubaker's kind of profile, and then an origin page, a couple of pages on Bucky. You can see all that. And then finally the further reading page, which slips in a few more of upcoming books where we'll be looking forward to. A couple more Captain America books are going to be in this series, and that's Captain America The New Deal and Fallen Sun, Death of Captain America. So those are a couple to look forward to. Next, well, this week I'll be getting the new one on Wednesday. It's The Incredible Hulk and Silent Screams. I don't believe I've read that, but I'm after getting all those Incredible Hulk comics not so long ago, and you know, pretty much enjoying them. I'm looking forward to this series. So with that, that's another Ultimate graphic novel collection done. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.